This month we got our tax refund, and today I'm showing you how we spent every single dollar in our budget. If you're new here, hey, I'm Marissa. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about life and money and how you can budget, save, and make more money for your family. If that sounds like something interesting to you, scroll down, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. We are a family of 5 living in Phoenix, Arizona. I have 3 sons who are 4.5, 2.5, and 6 months. And here is how we spent and saved every dollar in our budget this month, including our tax refund. So this is our budget template that we use every single month. I will leave a link to it down below in the description box. It's an instant download, works in Excel, Google Sheets, all of those things. The first thing that you see here is Jacob's income and then my income. My husband Jacob is a W-2 employee. He works in marketing. He does work from home. And then I am a stay-at-home mom with my 3 little boys, but I do work and do this when they are asleep or on the weekend, which it's the weekend today. And I also am a virtual bookkeeper, and so between all of those things I pay myself a salary out of my business, which is what I paid myself this month. I love the combo of being a content creator and a virtual bookkeeper because it gives me a few different income streams. With being a content creator, the income widely varies. Some months are really high, some months are really low, and that's hard to budget off of. But the nice thing about being a bookkeeper is that I just have steady, consistent income every month from doing bookkeeping. So I love that extra bit of income for our family. I also actually have a course called Next Level Bookkeeper, which teaches you how to do bookkeeping tasks and launch your own bookkeeping business. If you're interested, I will leave a link to that down below and you can check that out there. And in other income, we did get a tax refund from the state of Arizona, which I have budgeted here in our actual column. So altogether, we brought home $13,179.51. This is after taxes, insurance, 401k, HSA, all those things that get deducted out of my husband's paycheck. Next, I will show you our expenses. This is where we spent money from our budget. We have our tithe and African New Life. I do keep this blocked out for privacy as well, but we are Christians and we support our church and a missions organization called African New Life. Next we have is our mortgage. $25.64.55 each month is what we spend for our mortgage. This is just principal and interest. Next we have is our HOA, which is at $138 each month. Then we have natural gas. This month we actually didn't pay anything in natural gas. We had some sort of credit. I don't know what it was, but we had an extra like $75 credit that they applied to our bill. I don't know what for, but I will take it. So we actually didn't pay anything for natural gas. Next we have is electric at $234.52 each month. We are on a budget billing option, so this is what we pay every month for our electric use. Since we are in Phoenix, the summers are obviously really hot and winters are cooler, and so we spend a lot more in electric during the summer, so they do have a budget billing option to even that out. But this actually isn't the average of the last 12 months that we've been here. So I'm only going to do this for like another month, and then I'm just going to switch back to paying the bill like normal because I've been overpaying in this budget billing cycle. Next we have trash at $22, and then water was $94.69. Internet is $60, and then our phones this month were a little bit less because I had a credit, and so that was $99.63 for mine and my husband's cell phones. Then we have insurance. This is for our cars and homeowners insurance at $271.90, and then life insurance was $52.89. Next we have is groceries, and I budgeted $800 and we only spent $514.81. I know it was a shorter month being February, so that could have something to do with it. Also, we had one Costco trip where we spent about $130, but we had our Costco credit card point, not the credit card points. I think it was just our membership points, our membership certificate, from Costco. And so that took care of that whole Costco trip. And then we also had additional money from that certificate as well, which I don't know if you know this, but if you spend less than your Costco certificate on your Costco trip, they just give it back to you in cash. So I now have cash, and I haven't accounted for that in the budget. Cash, to me, because I use card for everything, cash is kind of just like free money in a sense. We are going to use it for specific things, but we haven't applied that to groceries. So yeah, we spent $514.81 that came out of our budget this month. Love that. Then we have eating out. We are right under budget at $144.09. Gas was at $122.30. This was actually a little more than we normally spend, but it was just one of those months where we ended up having to fill up more, like at the very beginning and the very end of the month, so we had a little bit more spent there. We didn't spend anything on fun specifically, but we did go to the zoo, and we have a zoo membership, so we didn't pay for anything because we had already paid for it with the membership. Then we have miscellaneous. I budgeted $200, but we spent $106.49 this month. Then here's the big thing where we spent some tax refund. You'll see more of it down below. But we put $12,833.34 to our Roth IRAs. We are now finished, maxed out our Roth IRAs for 2025, which feels really good to do in February and be done with it, and we don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year. So that is now complete, and you won't see this line item in our budget going forward because we have maxed out our Roth IRAs. Yay! Okay. Next we have is college. We do contribute to our 3 sons' 529 college savings plans, so we have that there. Altogether, we had $18,440 come out of our bank account this month. A lot of money. Okay, next we have is the savings section where this $12,000 will make a little more sense for our budget. First thing is the emergency fund. You guys, I don't think that I shared the video because the month just got away from me, but in January we were over budget in quite a few categories, and I had to take money from that. This is awful. I had to take money from our emergency fund to make our budget balance for the remainder of the month because we were over budget in a few things. Groceries, we were like significantly over in groceries. I don't know how. It was so bad. But I literally had to take money from the emergency fund. So that was not great. And I didn't share that video not to like hide it. The month literally got away from me, and I'm sharing it now. It was not a great month, and I literally had to take money from the emergency fund. So this month I replenished it, and that's hopefully not going to happen again. But somehow we were just so over budget, and I had to pull money from somewhere to be able to pay the difference. So that was that. $1,157 went back to our emergency fund to bring it back to its full amount. Then we have property taxes. We put $300 into this fund, and we paid our property tax bill, $1,604.47. Then we have taxes. So this is where you see all this extra money coming from. Since I'm self-employed, I do pay quarterly tax payments, and I also set aside additional money for taxes. So I had paid my quarterlies all year, and I had a big chunk sitting in my tax fund ready to be paying our taxes. And when we got our tax bill of what we owe, I actually had more in that account than what we owed, and it just about equaled what we needed for our Roth IRAs. So I pulled $12,700 out of that and transfer that to our Roth IRAs. So you see this is negative. I pulled it out of it and then put it into our Roth IRA account there. With our sinking funds, you can see here the budget is what we add to it, the actual is what's actually added to it, and then the spent is a minus what was spent from that fund each month to finish off the totals of the beginning balance to the ending balance of each of our funds. Whenever I make a transfer between funds, so if I, in this case, take money out of taxes to put somewhere else, I put it in the actual rather than something that's being spent out of it, because it's in line with this same column of what we actually took out versus what was actually put to a different fund. But then we also spent $570 out of our tax fund because that was what we paid our CPA to do our taxes. I do have a degree in accounting. I'm a bookkeeper. I'm not going to do my own taxes. I am not up to date on all of the great things tax related, and I'm going to let someone else do that. And so I am happy to pay someone to do my taxes, and he knows more of what he's doing, and that is a relief for me. So the reason why we have all of these funds in a light blue color is because this is in our high yield savings account. A high yield savings account is just like a normal savings account, except you earn significantly more interest, like 10 times the average national rate in a savings account. I personally use CIT Bank because they have some of the highest interest rates around. They have a platinum savings account, which you can use if you have at least $5,000 in this account. You get a higher rate. Or you can use their Savings Connect account, which has a little bit of a lower rate, but you only need $100 in this account, and both of these rates are still really high rates compared to the market. There's no fees to open it, no monthly fees, no maintenance fees, none of that, and it's also FDIC insured. I will leave a link to CIT Bank down in the description box below. You can check it out there. They are who I personally recommend to my friends and family. I've loved using them for the last few years, and also if you do use my link, I get a little kickback, so it's at no cost to you. I get a little something, so if you want to use my link, thank you so much. But yes, I would highly recommend checking out CIT Bank, get a high yield savings account, and start earning extra interest. Which also reminds me, it is now March 1st as I'm filming this video, so I need to go check my bank account and see how much I earned in interest and add it to my budget, because I haven't done that yet. I earned $91.17 this month in interest. We love that. It's a little bit less than previous months. That's because obviously we had all of this money come out of our bank account with our tax fund. Let me add that to my income real fast and then we can budget for that. We'll add that in at the end, so let's remember that. Next we have is Jacob. Jacob gets $150 of personal spending. I get $75. The only reason why that's different is because I just don't spend as much, but this month I actually did spend $61 and Jacob didn't spend anything. So extra giving, we put $3,400 to this because at the end of 2024 I did some additional giving, because a really great thing with Arizona state income tax is you can donate your taxes to certain organizations and get a dollar for dollar credit on your taxes. Definitely consult your CPA because there's a limit as to how much you can do for this depending on your situation. But we donated money for that, and then when we got our tax refund, I'm just replenishing that. So $3,400 went back into this fund. Next we have is gifts. We have $50 a month going to that, and we spent $29.44. Clothing, $50 a month between myself and my husband, didn't spend it. Vacation, $200. Christmas, we put $100 into that. Medical, $400. We, like I mentioned, we do have an HSA with a high deductible health plan, but we are paying for our medical expenses out of pocket, and then we are investing the dollars inside our HSA. So we spent $648 on medical this month. Next we have is dues and subs. We put $71 into this, and we spent $91.87. Then we have car maintenance at $75. House maintenance, we put $500 into, which is more than our $200. And I do want to increase this going forward, and we spent $50.94. Next we have his household, $209.99, and we spent $114.52. And then kids, we put $700 into this, and we actually added additional money into this. We added another $225. Normally we spend a lot in this category. This is for things like diapers, clothing, toys, preschool, swim lessons, everything that we have for the kids. So we did have those expenses, but we honestly did not spend a whole lot on the kids this month, which was wonderful. Sometimes I feel like it's really easy to go overboard in this category. But then we also sold a stroller this month. So I had a baby jogger side-by-side stroller, and it was a great stroller. It was just a bit heavy. And we also just recently got the Zoe twin, which also becomes the trio. So it can be a 2, and then it has an additional seat that makes it a 3. I did a video showing that. If you want to check it out, I will leave it here. I love it. I love the stroller. It's a lot more lightweight, and I love that it can be the double, and then it has the option to be the triple for when we go to Disneyland, which it is Disney approved even in the triple configuration. So we decided to sell the baby jogger one just because we basically had 2 side-by-side strollers and we didn't need that. So we made some extra money there and we put it to the kids fund. So as a grand total, we put $5,261 into savings. Our total out, though, does not match our income. This is our little balance check here, which the difference should be 0, and we have an extra $91.17 because that was our interest from our high yield savings account this month. So let's budget this in real time. I'm going to put more to our dues and subs here, $100 to this, and then I think I'm going to put the rest of it to our household fund, so $272.83. Okay. And there we have a 0 budget, and every dollar has been spent or saved this month. Now to show you our net worth update, I do like sharing this to see our progress throughout the month. And even though this was a really big month with our tax refund, it was not a great month for our net worth. So our ending balance for our total retirement between Roth IRAs and 401k was $240,000. Remember, we put like over 13,000 into this month, and it only grew by 5,700. So the market was not wonderful at the end of February, but I'm not too concerned about it. Next we have is our house at about $625, and then our emergency fund is back up. And then our extra cash, this is what we have in all of our additional sinking funds, is $10,000. Our HSA is at $22,775. Also, like I said, we have this invested and we put into it, and it grew by only $66, and we put more into that this month as well. Next we have is our Highlander at about $25,000, our Kia Carnival at $945,000. So all of our assets or things that we own is at $998,000. And then the only thing that we owe money on is our mortgage, which is now at $395,388. It only decreased by $380 because our interest rate is high. We have a 6.6% interest rate. Ugh, not great. But overall, our net worth is now at $602,641, which is $2,000 less than it was last month because of the market not being as wonderful. But that's okay. So that is our overall look at the month of February. Let me know how was your February looking, and don't forget to check out CIT Bank and their high yield savings account to start earning some extra interest, add a little bit of money back into your budget. And with that, I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.